folks, Unrest has Tuna House, and well, I'm doing a review of a comic book in this dorm room because I've got school tomorrow and I moved back here. That's all I gotta say. So I'm reviewing Hellboy by Mike Mignola, illustrate and John Byrne. And this book is really fascinating to me because it combines a lot of sci-fi and horror and fantasy, of course. And it's been adapted into like 3 movies: Hellboy, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, and Hellboy, third one, which is not very good. The 2 ones that are starring Ron Perlman, those are the good ones. I rank them highly. But this is like a comic book that I read and I found it very interesting, and this is what I'm going to be reviewing today. This is called Hellboy, The Seed of Destruction. So the story starts off with a journal from George Whitman, who's the USA General, with a journal entry stating that it was, you see, it says right here, "We've been here for 2 days and now it isn't getting any better. All the men are jittery in this place. Maybe if it had a name, maybe if the people in the village would even talk about it, but they won't." So this is during World War II. On December 23rd, 1944. As you can see, it's like a little journal entry right here. And this is like during the Nazi era, and the Nazis are like trying to open a portal to another dimension to summon an evil monster known as Saduhem, as they call it. So they're hooked up to this machine and they're trying to summon a portal. And if you look closely right here, you can see the little Nazi symbol on this guy's glasses to represent the Nazis. They're trying to summon the portal and it activates, but something went wrong and there's a huge bunch of explosion and everything. And what came through the portal, you may ask? Well, it wasn't exactly a monster. It was more like a tiny little demon creature known as, well, it was an infant demon in which Professor Broom named Hellboy, who took care of Hellboy when he was very, very young. And in about, many years later has passed, Hellboy grew up in Brooklyn and became a member of the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense of Paranormal Activity. And as you can see, he's in his office, he's doing his work, but Hellboy comes in and talks to him, and cause Professor Broom has a troubling past, and until that's when their conversation gets interrupted by frogs. I know, it's not that exciting, but wait, they're not frogs, they're monster frogs. They're really, really gnarly. They're scary. They're attacking Professor Broom and Hellboy, and Professor Broom dies during the massacre, and Hellboy defends himself. He's really trying to defend himself as hard as he can. He's grabbing the tongues of the creatures. He's going at them. He's pew, pew, kaboom. He's really trying his best and everything. So once the massacre is over, he calls the Bureau of Paranormal Investigating. He calls in his agents. He contacts the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense and tells them about what happened. And now he has to go to the Cavendish home to get some answers, which is right here, because somehow there might be connected to the paranormal activities. When Hellboy arrives, he arrives with 2 other agents known as Elizabeth Sherman and Abraham Sapien. This is during chapter 2 that we're introduced to new characters known as Abraham Sapien and Elizabeth Sherman. So a little synopsis about the characters. Elizabeth Sherman has pyrokinetic abilities, which means she can conjure fires and everything. She can create fires, but there's been like this little incident. Well, not exactly little, more like a really big incident. It says right here that the resultant fire leveled one city block, total fatalities 32, including 3 firefighters. As you can see right here, she killed 32 people, but it was just an accident because when she was 11 years old, she had no control over her powers, but she joined the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense to better control her powers, to learn how to control her powers, and that's how she joined the agency. And as for Abraham Sapien, he was discovered as you can see, Abraham Sapien joined the BPRD for short after being discovered by plumbers working in the basement of a hospital, and that's when one of the plumbers broke open a sealed door and found a long-forgotten chamber. The Bureau took his name from an inscription on a piece of paper near the tube the day President Lincoln died. Very interesting fact. Anyway, let me look. So like as you can see right here, the trio is like asking questions to Mrs. Cavendish about the incident with the frogs, the monster frogs, and they're wondering if they're asking questions involving 9 generations that are involved in paranormal activities. And like throughout the stories, it deals with paranormal sightings as well as being tied in with World War II and with the Nazi era. And if you love myth and monsters and enjoy learning about the impact with World War II, I recommend you read Hellboy. It is a really interesting book, and I think you're going to love it. So that's going to be all for today. Thank you for watching. Until next time, this is Armrest2 signing off. Stay peace, everybody.